Good morning, class. Our presentation is going to be on wildfires. Our presenters are Gerardo Tavares, Jade Orozco, Jada Johnson, and Jaime Munoz.
We specifically chose this topic because of the serious damage of wildfires and how they affect us as a whole. If we continue to let climate change keep happening, these fires will worsen and create more damage for us humans and for wildlife creatures as well. It also affects our homes and the property all around us. Wildfires are a serious problem that affects us, and if we continue to advocate for change when it comes to protecting our environment and climate change, they can decrease. These wildfires affect trees, wildlife creatures, homes, our water supply, and deteriorate the air quality that can be life-threatening to inhale. Overall, many of the resources that we have can all be affected from these fires that occur. Wildfires have been occurring since the 2000s, but especially during 2014, and now is where wildfires started to occur more because of climate change and the dryness of our environment. From the largest California fires that occurred, 8 had occurred in the last 3 years. The more that we ignore climate change, the worse it'll get. And this is where we include a graph where it shows wildfires with climate change that have increased all the way from 2015, and then also with wildfires without climate change. Because of the constant droughts in California that we face, wildfires have been seen to increase, and warmer weather is known to dry out fields. Because of the possible sparks people tend to do, and with dry seasons occurring, it makes these wildfires more prone to start. And here's also another graph that we have from acres burned by wildfires, and it's mostly increased in 2020.
The environmental impact of wildfires consists of the burning of 9 million acres of land in California from 2008 to 2016. Not only does it affect the environment, but it affects our communities, such as harmful conditions for humans and animals, the destroying of homes and infrastructures, and the air pollution, which is detrimental to the health of all living things. An alarming consequence of wildfires specifically involves the pollution of the air. According to health expert Tom Corium, a research economist who studies climate and atmospheric science at the Scripps Institution of Oceanography at UC San Diego, particles from wildfires can dangerously affect the health of creatures and humans, which can deeply penetrate the lungs, travel through bloodstreams, and escalate the probability of heart attacks, strokes, or other harmful health issues. Some animals are able to flee in time to escape the blaze, but fires are now lasting longer, are even hotter than ever, and spread much faster than the fires of before. Although not wiping out entire species or populations of animals, people that have dealt with injured creatures believe that the animals that do end up getting hurt are worth trying to save. Many experts do recognize wildfires as a disturbance to their landscape, which forces them to change habitat. The main goal of the overall campaign is to bring awareness on how to prevent wildfires by implementing policies to protect wildlife and forests, and to furthermore educate the public on the severity and the effects that wildfires have on our living environments. At the end of the day, only humans are going to be able to prevent wildfires from surging in not just California, but also all other parts of the world. For this leg of the campaign, our objective is to prohibit the use of high-risk fire-starting equipment such as cigarettes, coals, and lighters in areas that are prone to wildfires, as well as to regulate camping and human activities during the summer, which is the time of the year where wildfires are more likely to begin. And lastly, to get California residents to influence organizations to take action on new environmental policies.
The primary audience is the Environmental Protection Agency, which is a federal government agency that protects communities and the natural environment. The EPA have the power to enforce laws that will make corporations and businesses comply with environmental requirements. New stricter laws should be implemented where there are areas prone to wildfires. A new bill has been introduced in May of 2021 that could help to reduce wildfires that occur during the hot and dry seasons in the West. This was introduced by Senator Dianne Feinstein. She explains that climate changing weather is causing wildfires more frequently. This bill will fund agencies to restore forests, and environmental education will be provided to help educate the communities on these catastrophes. The secondary audience are wildlife agencies. These agencies protect natural resources and inform the public about natural hazards that could harm human health, but we want them to also inform everyone about rules and regulations regarding the use of fire equipment in the wilderness. We want these rules to be strictly enforced so people don't start unintentional fires that could lead to disaster. Wildlife agencies have the responsibility to take action whenever there is an environmental harm. They inform the public about the current state of the environment around the communities. Informing these agencies can allow us to spread more educational information about how to prevent and prepare for wildfires. There are many ways a fire can start while out in the wilderness. There should be a lot of signs informing the public of potential fire hazards on hiking trails or environmental areas. Campsites should be more strict with rules and regulations of starting fires on their campgrounds. There should be a no-tolerance policy when starting fires, especially when there are high winds or times of droughts.
We also want to inform the public to do their part when handling fire starting equipment while out in the wilderness. When camping, using propane tanks instead of burning charcoal for cooking meals is highly recommended, and also refrain from using matches or other fire starting equipment that burns the item itself. Use lighters or controlled fire tools so there is a less chance of unwanted flames. Looking back at the immense damages that have been done due to wildfires for decades now, one thing that we can understand is that the healing of our forest, wildlife, and air quality, like most things in life, is going to take time. Ways as a society we can help in preventing wildfires starts by being mindful of our actions and understanding that reckless behaviors can result in devastating outcomes for our forests, wildlife, and in some cases, our communities. When going camping or participating in any recreational outdoor activities, it's important for us to stop and think about what we are doing and the effect of our actions if something were to go wrong. It is also important for us to remember to be considerate of the environment and area we are in when camping or participating in outdoor recreational activities. We owe it to the wildlife to be respectful to the environment, which is their home. It is our decisions and actions that affect them the most when we act carelessly in their environment.